Welcome back to The Cycle, episode 10. I'm one of your co-hosts, Simon Villanos.
And I'm Jesse Booten.
And you know what? We're going to talk about college football to start off this episode. So, we took a week off. You know, it was just a little break. We had some stuff going on. But now we're back. We got 2 weeks of college football to talk about. Not a lot happened. But, Jesse, why don't you give us the quick rundown of some of the teams that played over this past weekend and the previous week?
Okay, so Simon, we have, first of all, we have Georgia and Florida played this last weekend. And this was kind of, you could say, the battle to win the SEC East.
Yeah.
The winner of this was probably going to be in the driver's seat for winning the conference, or that side of the conference, and going to the conference championship. And if you didn't hear, Georgia won. Georgia beat Florida.
Barely though.
24-17. It was a good game.
Yeah.
Jake Fromm played pretty well. He had two passing touchdowns. Kyle Trask played pretty well too. Florida's quarterback. He threw 2 touchdowns as well. But I think it just came down to Georgia being better. I think Georgia's better than Florida. So.
That's fair. Yeah. Georgia, you know, they keep their college football playoff hopes alive for now. At least with that win, so that's a good one.
Yeah, so they're still in it. Also, we got 2 weeks ago, Kansas State beating Oklahoma.
Ooh, yeah. All right, so what do you think about that, Jesse? Initial thoughts?
Initial thoughts, I think it's college football, Simon, so
yeah,
anything can happen any week in college football, and I think it was just one of those crazy weeks where Oklahoma lost. I don't think it's that Kansas State is good. I think just Oklahoma lost.
That's fair. Kansas State, they've low-key been all right, though. If you didn't know this, their new head coach, he was the old head coach over at North Dakota State. Of course, they won like 3 or 4 national championships over there with, Carson Wentz and a couple other people as well. So he's a good coach. He's slowly getting Kansas State to be competitive again, so that's good. But so with Oklahoma, this was a big loss because if you didn't hear either, Texas lost as well. So right now, in terms of like teams that are ranked in the top 25 in the Big 12, there really aren't that many. So where would you put Oklahoma's chances of making it back in?
They still have a chance, but I would say, I know later in the show we're gonna go ahead and tell our 2 teams that we think that aren't in the top 4 yet that could get in.
Yeah.
And I think Oklahoma sits on that 3rd spot.
Potentially, yeah.
Potentially that we could have 2 teams, maybe the 4th, maybe at like 4 teams that don't make it. We have our 2, but then there'll be 2 more outside of those 2.
Yeah.
So there's like you have the first 2 out and then the next 2 out. I think they could be in that next 2 out spot.
Okay, that's fair.
Again, because they just don't play the schedule enough to get back in.
Yeah.
Like Georgia still has a chance because they play good teams to get back in. Mm-hmm. Whereas Oklahoma, especially with Texas not being that great, really the only good team they're going to play left is Baylor, but I still think Baylor's going to lose a few games. I don't think they're going to be undefeated in a few weeks.
That's fair. Yeah, Baylor is the best team. They are undefeated. There's an opportunity for Baylor to move up, but that's very unlikely. We'll have to see how a lot of things turn out because
Baylor's about to go through a pretty tough stretch here. They play TCU at TCU, then they play Texas and Oklahoma 3 games in a row. So
yep.
We'll see what they're really made of in this next 3-week game stretch.
Yeah, if they come out of it, unscathed, that's very impressive.
If they if they go undefeated in that gauntlet and they beat Texas and Oklahoma, then I could maybe consider they are going to be in the playoff.
Yeah.
But until I see that, I don't think they're going to be in the playoff.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Yeah.
And then speaking of losses, so Alabama didn't necessarily lose, but they did lose Tua Tagovailoa for a couple weeks. They didn't play him against Tennessee, and then obviously they had to bye this past weekend. And he's coming off this ankle injury. It's a very similar situation to something that happened last year, but it was the opposite ankle. He still came back. He still played well and whatnot. But right now we're looking. I assume Tua is going to play against LSU,
which is coming up this coming weekend.
Yes, and that's going to be a big-time game. Honestly, it might be one of the most important games of the season, outside of the college football playoffs, because both these teams are fighting for their playoff lives. Even if both of them win today, they still got, well, wait, did LSU beat Auburn yet or no?
LSU has not beaten Auburn yet.
Right.
I don't think so.
No,
they did.
Oh, they did?
They did. They played last week, actually, I think.
Okay. Well, still, though, Alabama would still have to play Auburn. That's not a given. And then they'd have to play whoever in the SEC championship, which will probably be Georgia. And so that's still a gauntlet, but this would be a big win for both teams because a loss right here might put them away potentially. It really might put them away. So Jesse, first before we move on, who do you pick to win this game and why?
I think LSU is going to win.
Yeah?
I do. I think.
Is it going to be close?
I think it'll be a very close game. Very close. 3-7-point game.
Okay.
But I think LSU can win it because I think Joe Burrow is just going to. I mean, it's hard to say. You wouldn't think this would happen, but I think Joe Burrow's going to outplay Tua just because Tua's not fully healthy.
Yeah, that's fair. I could see that as well.
I think that is the reason that LSU and Joe Burrow can get past this. And I think this game has such big implications because they are on the same side of the SEC.
Yeah.
The winner of this, granted, let's say they don't lose any more games. This is the only game they lose. Whatever team loses this is not going to go to the conference championship.
Probably not.
So this is like the championship for the college or the SEC championship.
That's fair. Yeah.
So this is like a miniature championship in itself.
It is. It's going to be in Tuscaloosa or Death Valley?
It's in Tuscaloosa.
Tuscaloosa, yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know. I think I'll have to go with Alabama for now. I heard, these are obviously all rumors, but I heard Tua's doing better with this ankle injury than he did last year. And last year he still played great coming off that ankle injury. So it sounds like he's going to be good to go. You did tell me that LSU's star safety Grant Delpit might not play, and that might be a really big deal because you got guys like Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs. You need everybody you can to help out with that because those two are a handful for sure. Both potential first-round picks, maybe even top 15 first-round picks. So we'll just have to see with that. But I think Alabama will slightly edge them out. But I'm not, I could definitely see LSU winning. This is the type of game that could go either way because Alabama's defense is a little suspect, but I think their offense is better than LSU's, offense, but LSU's defense is better. So I don't know. I think this is a big-time game, though. We'll just have to see, but I'm picking Alabama.
Yeah, I think another reason why I'm picking LSU is they've just played a better schedule.
That's fair.
They've played teams that are harder and have given them games, and they're ready for this situation and this level and stage. I don't think Alabama's ready for it yet. I don't know. This will be the first time they see anything like this year. I mean, their best wins against Texas A&M.
Yeah.
So Alabama and Texas A&M's not that good. So
No.
So I think and LSU. On the flip side, LSU's already beaten Auburn and Florida. Both big time. They were all within the top 10 matchups both times. So I think LSU's seen it and they're ready for it. I think Alabama's going to be a little bit shocked by it at the beginning.
Yeah, I could see Alabama being shocked. We'll see though, because I know they want to make it back. They got embarrassed badly. That national championship which was arguably their last really challenging game. So we'll have to see. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a great game for sure. I think it's going to be a physical game. They're going to go at it. You're going to see some offensive fireworks for sure. I don't think it's going to be like a defensive type of game, but it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that one. All right. So we talked about this earlier, but me and Jesse were both going to pick two teams who are outside the top 4 right now as of November 3rd that can make it back in time for the college football playoffs. So for those that don't know, the 4 teams that are in right now, and I don't know the order specifically.
I got it. So LSU would be the number 1 seed.
Yep.
Alabama would be the number 2 seed.
Yep.
Ohio State would be the number 3 seed. Clemson would be the number 4 seed.
Yep. So we're going to pick 2 teams that could potentially make it in by the end of this season. Obviously, we just talked about Alabama, LSU. I mean, I think we're both assuming that one of those teams aren't going to make it.
I don't think one. I think whoever wins this game, this weekend, again, while we're talking about it, it's such a big game, is going to win the conference championship and go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's
most likely.
I think one will not make it.
Yeah, most likely. But it's college football. You never know. Sometimes it just doesn't turn out that way. So Jesse, why don't you give me one of your teams, and then we'll just go back and forth.
Okay, so I think my first team is I think 2 Big Ten teams could make it.
Oh.
I think Ohio State should make it.
Yeah.
Justin Fields is a monster, and that Ohio State team. I just don't know if anyone could beat them. Like, as of right now, I think they would be my favorite to win the national championship.
Ohio State?
Yes.
Okay.
But I think Penn State could sneak in there. I think Penn State would take the spot of probably Clemson. I don't think Clemson's going to make it at 4.
Okay.
So I think Penn State takes the 4th seed away from Clemson, and 2 Big Ten teams make it to the playoff.
Doesn't Penn State play Ohio State though?
They do, but I still think one of them would. Well, I still think both of them can make it because I'm just not a believer in Clemson.
Okay. What if Penn State beats Ohio State though? I mean, obviously they'd be in though, right?
Oh, obviously, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. That's fair. Clemson, honestly, they are one bad loss away from just not making it because they don't have that strength of schedule either.
No.
I think their schedule is about as good as Oklahoma's.
I also think that if Clemson made it into the playoff, it would be a repeat of Notre Dame last year where they score 3 points and just get blown out, and it's not a competitive game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I think the other teams that would be in it are on just a different level this year.
Yeah. No, I believe that. That's very fair. I think there's a lot of talented teams. Clemson, they lost a lot of players. Like, they're still undefeated, but it's just barely. And Trevor Lawrence hasn't been playing as well as everyone anticipated, which is bringing up some very interesting questions in itself. So we'll have to see. All right, one of the teams that I think could squeeze their way in still, despite having a loss actually, is Georgia. So we just talked about it, they got a big win over Florida, right? That's a good one. That's a confidence booster for sure. But right now, Georgia, they're kind of sitting pretty. I don't think they have a very, challenging or tough schedule until the SEC championship, which, it's a good and bad thing. But I think they're still alive right now. Their playoff hopes are still alive. They just got to win these regular season games. And then most likely they'll face either Alabama or LSU in the SEC championship. And I think beating either one of those teams like that could easily propel them forward. I could see them making the college football playoffs and, possibly kicking out an Alabama or LSU. Just because Alabama or LSU, I think they'll be, rated the number 1 team, whoever wins it from this point on. So I think beating that one team would launch them in there, and I think that's a very obvious choice. They're not done yet. They lost, early enough in the season where they could still compile a couple wins, and that loss becomes slowly more forgettable. But I think Georgia might make it in.
Mm-hmm. I think the only way Georgia makes it in, I'll agree with you, is if they win the SEC championship.
Yeah, that's the big one.
I think they will make it. They'll make it for sure. And if they win it, I think they're in. If they lose it, I think they're out.
Yeah,
that's really what it is.
Oh yeah, so they have another chance, and there's worse roads to take. Like, you could be an Alabama or LSU that will have to play each other, and then play whoever's like a Georgia next. So Georgia, they just gotta take care of business, and when that time comes, they gotta step up to the occasion. So I think that's an obvious choice. Georgia could easily make it in my opinion. Mm-hmm. All right, so what's your last team for you?
My second team, I have Oregon. I think Oregon can sneak in here. I mean,
yeah.
I know that the playoff committee likes to represent as many conferences, like instead of putting 2 Big Ten teams and 2 SEC teams in, even if they have the same record, I think they would pick a 1-loss Pac-12 champion over an SEC runner-up, right? So yeah. I think Oregon makes it, could squeak in there. I think they're going to beat Utah in the Pac-12 championship, and I think Oregon could squeak in there.
Oh yeah, I think so. They destroyed USC, who was USC. They're not that great this season, but they they potentially probably could have upset Oregon. But yeah, mm-hmm. Oregon destroyed them. They put 52 points on them. Yeah, I think Oregon could definitely sneak in. I could see a scenario where Ohio State possibly loses. Right, only one SEC team could make it in.
Sorry, guys. We are watching the Broncos right now, and Noah Fant just ran through everybody to the end zone. Touchdown, Broncos.
Oh, that was a good little play right there, huh?
Yeah, it was. All right, anyways, continue. So Oregon beating USC.
Yeah, so Oregon beat USC, beating Utah in the Pac-12 conference championship.
Yep.
Yeah, in the conference championship. That would be a pretty big deal, I think. That might edge them into that 4th spot.
Mm-hmm.
there aren't a lot of teams that I could see making it in over them. Assuming, there's a number of teams that will make it in with one loss. Because I think there might only be one undefeated team, maybe two undefeated teams that will make it in with, clean records, and then two teams that will have one loss. Yeah. So they'll have an argument for sure. That's a good one. So I have Oklahoma, and here's the thing with Oklahoma. So unlike, the other three teams we just talked about, unlike Oregon, Georgia, and Penn State, they really don't have that one game coming up that could propel them forward into the college football playoffs, which is really concerning. Honestly, I think out of the four teams we both just listed, they have the smallest chance of making it in, because I'd even, if they played a Utah and beat them, I would probably be happy with that. And I would see that argument as a stronger argument. But you know what? They don't really play anybody tough. I don't think Baylor is a Utah. I think Utah would beat Baylor if it came down to it. And, it's just one of those things. Oklahoma, they have a chance, but it's not because of their schedule. It's because of the other teams around them. So right now, it's rare that you see a number one, team in the nation and a number two team in the nation play a couple weeks before their conference championship games. At least, in the college football playoffs era. And so I think that it's totally possible, if everything just slowly falls into place, and then obviously it's up to the playoff committee, that Oklahoma makes it in. Obviously, they'll have to be undefeated, because if they get another loss, then that's it. It's over. But I think there's still a chance, There's really nothing they could do now except win these next couple games, which should be easy games. But yeah,
I think the only one you have to circle, just because of how it's all turned out, is the Oklahoma-Baylor game.
Yeah.
If Baylor wins that game, Baylor's in this spot that we're talking about of Oklahoma, and Oklahoma's out.
That's true. Baylor basically just switches spots, and I haven't watched enough Baylor games to really see what their identity is all about, because I've kind of been writing them off. So it would be interesting. That's something to think about. Something to talk about this next week, because they play this week, right?
They do. TCU. I'll be there, so I will see it firsthand, so I can come back next week and report back to you guys.
Yeah.
What I actually think of them seeing them in person. From what I've watched on TV, I don't think they're worth the hype. I think they're a good team.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're playoff Big 12 championship good.
That's fair. We'll have to see. Like you said, you'll have live eyes out there. You'll get to see it all live.
Yeah. So
do some scouting.
I'll definitely report back next week.
Yes, sir.
On who you guys get. But yeah, that's the game you got to circle. The Oklahoma Baylor game if you're a Big 12 watcher.
For sure.
I think can I chime in with one more team?
Sure, go for it.
That we could touch on.
Yeah.
I haven't watched enough of them, so I can't really say it. But Minnesota is 8-0.
Oh, that's right. They are 8-0.
Yeah. So Minnesota's 8-0. I know they've had lots of. They've been reaching out to College Game Day, because College Game Day hasn't even given them a look yet.
That's true.
They're saying you should be here. I mean, what the heck? We're 8-0. We're in the Big Ten, so it's still a good conference. But I still don't think that this team makes it in over Ohio State or Penn State.
Who do they play? Do they play at Penn State?
Let me see. Minnesota's remaining schedule. They play. Yeah, they just don't play. I mean, I guess they play Penn State.
Okay.
But in Minnesota.
Okay.
So if they can beat Penn State, maybe, and then they have a big looming game at the very end of their season, it's against Wisconsin.
Okay. So if they do beat, Penn State, which would be tough, and then beat Wisconsin, and then make it into the Big Ten championship versus Ohio State. Yeah, they could easily punch their way in.
If they beat Ohio State. That's the only thing. Again, they have to win. It's just like the SEC.
Beat Penn State first,
Yeah, it's the SEC. It's the same with the SEC. You have to win it to get, with Georgia, you have to win it to get in.
Oh, yeah. But see, I'd rather, if I was that team, I'd rather have that control than, rely on other teams. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
So Minnesota controls their own destiny.
They do. As well as some of these other teams, except for Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. So that'll wrap up.
Golden Golden Gophers, dude.
Golden Gophers, that's right. Yeah.
Never would have thought that they could be in the playoff, but here they are. So
Low-key, I'm rooting for them.
That would be
cool.
awesome. It would be cool to see a team like that get in.
Yeah,
just someone that no one's ever thought of and ever seen.
Oh yeah, that's a once in a lifetime type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyways, that wraps up this college football playoff, or not college football playoff. Sorry, college football review.
Weekly
Of these,
preview,
of these last couple weeks.
And next, me and Simon are going to go through a mid-season mock draft that we have put together.
Yep.
For you guys.
Coming up next. All right, welcome back to the Cycle 365. So me and Jesse, we made up a very, very early
Mid-season.
mid-season NFL mock draft. So we went off of the standings and rankings as of October 24th, 2019. And so, we wanted to make this because it's cool seeing the progression of it all, even these draft spots and whatnot. But so we're just going to go pick by pick, team by team. We made this mock draft together, so, we decided on these together. So, all right, I got the first pick. The first pick we decided, it was the Cincinnati Bengals. And we took quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. So, I think this is an obvious pick. Ryan Finley, right?
Starter, yeah.
Yeah, he's a starter now. They didn't play this week because they're on bye, I think, the Bengals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're on bye, so Andy Dalton's benched. Not that I don't believe in Ryan Finley. He was a fine quarterback over at NC State, but Tua Tagovailoa is better.
He's the next franchise quarterback of any team that takes him, so I think that's the way you go. He'll be the number one pick overall no matter who it is.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's the best quarterback in this draft.
Easily. Well, maybe not easily, but he is.
I wouldn't say easily, but definitely
he's up there.
Number one. I think he's definitely number one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's somebody that a lot of teams, they've been keeping an eye on him ever since he won that national championship.
Yeah.
Yep. And he's on his way potentially to another one, so we'll see.
Yep.
All right, Jesse.
All right, so with the second pick, we have Miami, who actually got a win today, so that's interesting.
They did.
Yeah, but anyways, Miami would be second, and we also went quarterback for Miami. We went with Joe Burrow at LSU.
Oh, yeah.
Quarterback. He hasn't really been on the scene for a long time. He kind of just came on this year because of how good he's playing with LSU and how good LSU is doing, but he's still a 3-year starter.
Yep.
He has played in the SEC all of his career. I think
most of his career, yeah.
Yeah. I think he would be a good transfer over into the NFL, and I think he will be the second pick here, second quarterback taken, and he's going to go to Miami and be the starter.
I agree. I think Miami, we all know this, they're tanking, so you might as well take a quarterback first. I think we also had potentially Jonathan Taylor, the best running back in this class, going here as well, because Miami does have 2 other picks in this draft as well. So that's just worth, mentioning. Anyways, next up, we have the Washington Redskins. We have a defensive end out of Ohio State, Chase Young, going to them. So, Washington, they're a very dysfunctional team, but you got to keep going. You got to keep going and, playing and doing all that stuff. But I think Chase Young is a really good move here. Chase Young, he low-key could still go number 1 overall.
Yeah, I think Chase Young is the best player in this draft.
Oh, yeah.
Best overall athlete and player in general.
Yeah.
He could definitely go number 1 overall. I think, he's the best player in college football.
Oh, yeah, he's a monster. He's well, I'm not going to say he's carrying that Ohio State team because they have a lot of talent over there. But he's one of the reasons why they're still undefeated,
Mm-hmm.
He's a fantastic player. I think putting him in on that Washington Redskins defensive line with, the likes of De'Aaron Payne, Jonathan Allen, and all those boys, that would make that, front seven real scary.
And then you got Montez Sweat and Reggie Ragland.
Oh,
so
yeah.
This defense would be on the up.
Oh, yeah, it would be.
Least.
A lot of young guys over there for sure. So I think that's a pretty obvious pick right there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
All right, and then so at the fourth, we have Atlanta. Atlanta is the fourth pick.
Yep.
And we went with the first corner here, Jeff Okudah from Ohio State.
Yeah.
He is the best corner in this draft, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And Atlanta needs help in their secondary.
That's true.
They haven't addressed the cornerback situation in the last, I don't even know, 8 years maybe. They're right now.
Trufant?
Yeah, Desmond Trufant has been their number one guy for the last 8 years, and he's a good number one, but he's getting old, and they need to revamp that defensive back.
Oh yeah. Jeff Okuda, he's the other reason why Ohio State's defense is really good. Easily the best corner, cover guy in this draft, I'd say.
He's also a big physical guy. He's gonna lock down number one receivers.
Oh yeah, I think he'll fit in just really really well in Dan Quinn's defensive system over there. Assuming Dan Quinn is still the coach, but we'll have to see.
Yeah.
All right, so next up we got the New York Jets. Hey, you remember when we said that Miami got a win? Guess who they got a win over? It was the Jets. So they might be picking earlier because they're falling apart. And one of the reasons they're falling apart is because of that offensive line. So we had still the best lineman in this draft, Andrew Thomas, the left tackle out of Georgia. He's a big physical guy. He should be, an instant impact type of player on this New York Jets team. The Jets, they got to protect Sam Darnold. I know everybody saw what happened to Andrew Luck when when the Colts didn't draft any linemen, so don't want that happening to Sam Darnold and, have him form bad habits because, all this pressure is getting to him, in-game pressure. But yeah, having Andrew Thomas, I think that fills a need for the Jets. It helps a lot of things, to be honest. He'll
be a day one starter.
Oh yeah, having a good line does that. But yeah.
All right. So then at 6, the Giants came up, and we picked, in our opinion, me and Simon both agreed on this.
Yeah.
The number one receiver in this draft is actually CeeDee Lamb. A lot of people are saying Jerry Jeudy from Alabama, but we think CeeDee Lamb is going to be a better fit in this offense, in the Jets, or in the Giants offense, I should say.
Yeah.
Both New York teams are just not good, so that's why I get it mixed up.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, I think CeeDee Lamb is the way to go here. I think Daniel Jones needs some targets to throw to. I think they have Evan Ingram and Sterling Shepard. But other than that, they need a receiver or a skill player position that can stretch the field to go hand in hand with Saquon Barkley.
Oh yeah, they need a star out there. And this is nothing against Jerry Jeudy, because honestly, in a couple weeks, I could definitely see us, having Jerry Jeudy go here, as well, which I feel like would make sense. But, CeeDee Lamb, he's been a playmaker for Oklahoma. I remember against Texas, he was, oh my God, he was a monster. He really was just a monster out there. He's a playmaker. He's explosive. He has fantastic hands. He's great. He's an all-around player. I think, if the Giants were to take a receiver here, whether it be CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy, you really can't go wrong.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's fair. All right, so with the Chargers, we have them taking off, offensive linemen. They're getting a guard in Tristan Wirfs from Iowa. Yeah. Iowa, they've produced some good guards as of late, and the Chargers, they need to fix that offensive line. They've been real iffy for the last couple years. I know they drafted the likes of Forrest Lamp and Dan Feeney, but honestly, one of them, they both dealt with injuries, so we'll have to see how that goes. But I think it's about time, you just get somebody like Wirfs. He's probably as close to a sure thing of a lineman as there is in this draft. He's a real big physical guy. He'll help that run game immediately, protect Phillip Rivers or whoever's quarterback for the Chargers for a little bit longer. But yeah.
All right. Then come next is at 8, the Denver Broncos. Our Denver Broncos.
Your Denver Broncos.
Our Denver Broncos.
Well, we'll see about that. Go on, though.
We know our listeners are Denver Broncos fans, so.
Yeah, okay.
Our Denver Broncos, who are currently winning right now. They're beating the Browns.
They are?
14-9.
Yeah.
But they're winning.
Yeah.
All right, so with the 8th pick, we have them taking the other wide receiver, Jerry Jeudy, that we just talked about. But again, it could go either way. CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy. You could interchange both of those. They're both going to go in the top 10.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't really matter. But we had Denver taking Jerry Jeudy. If you we all know they just traded away Emmanuel Sanders, and Courtland Sutton's going to be great for Denver in a long time. That was a steal they got 2 years ago for second round. But if you add that dynamic other receiver to the other side in Jerry Jeudy, who are you going to cover? Because
that's true.
You got that. And then I also think with Juwan Winfrey coupled behind those two, receiver out of Colorado that they took last year, I think he is a stud in the making that is just not there yet. But I think he's going to be good, so I think that they could make this receiving core good are great, I guess I could say. And then
I could see that.
Then you just got to figure out whichever quarterback comes in will have a solid receiving core, especially with Noah Fant too, to build around. Whether that be Brandon Allen, who's starting now, or Drew Lock, who they drafted, or another quarterback coming up in this year.
For sure, yeah.
I think that drafting Jerry Jeudy here would be a great pick. I mean, he's a top 5 pick that you get at 8.
Same. We did think about, giving Denver a quarterback, like maybe a Jalen Hurts, but we'll have to see how the season goes on. They have the opportunity to, activate Drew Lock.
Yeah, they got to see what they have in Drew Lock first.
But I think this is a good pick. It's a safe pick, you know, because he'll be great. Anyways, so speaking of Denver winning, they're winning over the Browns, who are up next at number 9. We have them taking LSU safety Grant Delpit. Just earlier, we did talk about how he may not play in that Alabama-LSU game, but, he's a fantastic cover safety. He's been a good one. Honestly, some people had him going top 5. He kind of just fell out because he hasn't played as well. He struggled against Texas at times, and he's been up and down, and then you have injuries as well. But he's a talent, and I think the Browns, they'd be shoring up that defense, getting a great safety like Grant Delpit right here at number 9.
Yeah, this is the best safety in the draft, maybe even the best defensive back in the draft. I know that even if you go back to a few, like the beginning of the season, along with Chase Young, he was the best athlete in this draft class.
Oh yeah.
So we'll have to see where that goes.
Yeah, he's right there.
All right, so then at 10 we have Miami, their second pick. So we did talk about this earlier with their first pick. We think they take Joe Burrow first, but then they go back and get Jonathan Taylor, who we talked about, from Wisconsin, running back. They go back and get him because they trade away Kenyon Drake, and they need a running back. So
that's true.
This could be it right here.
That's very true.
Jonathan Taylor, I think, is one of the best running backs we've seen in a while. I mean, he's like a Saquon Barkley. He's gonna be like that talent in the NFL
for sure.
So definitely, Miami gets a great haul here in the first 10 picks. They get their quarterback of the future and the running back in Jonathan Taylor and Joe Burrow. That's
fair. And see, with Jonathan Taylor, he's a great prospect. There's nothing against him. I know he's going at 10, so he's barely in the top 10. But like, if you look at these teams, there aren't a lot of them that need running backs. Like Cincinnati, they got Mixon. Washington, they you still got to believe in guys. Atlanta, they have Devontae Freeman. Jets, Le'Veon. Giants, Saquon. Chargers, either Melvin Gordon or Austin Eckler, whoever. So like, it's not that he's a bad player, but it's need.
This is the first team that needs a running back.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I think this is a great pick. Miami, they're getting a workhorse right off the bat.
Oh yeah. Again, plug and play guy. He's gonna be great and play from day 1.
Oh yeah. All right. So at 11, we're just going a little bit farther away from Miami. We're going to be in Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay has the 11th pick. We have them taking quarterback Jalen Hurts out of Oklahoma. I think it's over for Jameis Winston. We tried to believe in him.
So?
Oh, yeah. I think it's over. We really tried to believe in him. I'm sure Bruce Arians tried to believe in him. Jalen Hurts is a dynamic dual threat. I think, Bruce Arians finds a way to win with him. Probably right off the bat. If they get Jalen Hurts, they might have a chance at making the playoffs.
Yeah, right. I think so too. I think he's like Kyler Murray, but bigger, stronger.
Yeah.
So he's definitely. I think, again, if he goes to Tampa Bay, I think they should plug him in there day 1, and I think he fits in that Bruce Arians offense very well, especially with the dynamic receivers in Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. He's already got the receivers there, and you just plug him in there, and he's going to be really good. I think a lot of people wrote him off at the beginning of the season. They're like, "Oh, he's not a first round pick."
Yeah.
But I think he's shown this year that he is.
Yeah.
I mean, even in their loss to Kansas State, it wasn't his fault at all. He still threw for like 350 yards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think he's goes here. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I think he's a great player. He could potentially go higher still, which will be crazy.
Mm-hmm. All right, so at 12 we have the Detroit Lions.
Yep.
Taking defensive end A.J. Espenza, Iowa.
Yep.
Defensive end, pass rusher.
Oh yeah.
When we looked at this team, when we looked at the Detroit Lions, we figured that their weakness is their defensive line. I mean, they're not that weak, but still, like, they need a pass rusher.
Oh yeah. Adding Espenza could make this defensive line a strength almost immediately.
Yeah, they lost Ziggy Ansah.
Yeah.
And so this would just be the replacement for him, basically.
For sure. Yeah, I think that's a good fit.
Yep.
All right, so the Jacksonville Jaguars at 13, we have them taking cornerback Trayvon Diggs out of Alabama. Obviously, they traded Jalen Ramsey, so they have another pick coming up pretty soon here, actually. But Trayvon Diggs, I'm not going to say he is a Jalen Ramsey or we could replace him, but I think he's a good corner. You could throw him in there and he won't mess up right away. You know, he'll hold it down. He'll hopefully develop into a solid player as well. So I think that's a good pick for Jacksonville right here.
Yeah, revamp that defensive back.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Then next we have at 14 the Philadelphia Eagles. We have them taking outside linebacker Isaiah Simmons from Clemson.
Yep.
I think this is just a glaring need for Philadelphia is the linebackers. I think they still have a decent defensive line. They could go defensive back here too because they need that as well.
True.
But definitely a defensive player, and I think linebacker Isaiah Simmons is a top-notch linebacker. I think this is the guy that they should take here.
Yeah, Simmons, he's an explosive guy for Clemson. Yeah, that's fair. All right, so number 15, we got the Tennessee Titans. I know they have Ryan Tannehill and Marcus Mariota, but I think they take a quarterback here. Then we have them taking another Oregon prospect, once again, Justin Herbert. So here's the thing. They benched Mariota, and Tannehill was playing, and I don't know how well Tannehill was playing. I guess he's playing a little bit better.
Yeah, he's been playing okay. I'd still say he's... I don't think he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's a backup.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they need to get a guy. So I assume Marcus Mariota is probably gonna walk, right? And then I think
come to Denver.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, that'd be a great fit.
Or the Bears, yeah. So Mariota, that might be an interesting free agent to look at. He might change, this mock draft moving forward. But yeah, I think the Titans take Justin Herbert. Herbert, he had a rough start to the season. Quietly, he's been picking it up. We'll have to see how the season continues on for him, but I think Tennessee they get a guy. They get a quarterback with potential who hopefully won't cap them. So we'll have to see with that.
All right. So then at 16, the Oakland Raiders.
Yep.
Boo. Well, they will be in Las Vegas by this time.
So the Las Vegas Raiders.
Still boo.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah.
We have them taking defensive tackle Derek Brown out of
Auburn.
Yes, that's correct. If you've seen Auburn play, he's big, number 5.
Yep.
He's a big dude. And he is, for how big he is, again, a very explosive player. He's the best defensive tackle in this draft for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oakland had, Los Angeles or Las
Vegas.
The Raiders. I'm just thinking of the Raiders.
The Raiders.
They had a lot of picks last year and they went defense, but I still think that they need a middle guy to lock that down. Whoever gets Derek Brown's going to have the middle of their defense locked down.
Oh yeah.
That's again another day one starter, plug and play guy. Very good, and Oakland gets their guy here.
Yeah, for sure. This guy, he's played against a lot of good offensive lineman prospects too, between Oregon and then some of these SEC schools. So
yeah, he's played LSU.
Yeah, I think that he's a sleeper. I know we have him at 16, but he's a sleeper for sure. All right, so moving forward, at number 17, we have the Arizona Cardinals. I was kind of surprised they were this far back in the in the first round, but whatever. We have them taking a wide receiver out of Alabama, Henry Ruggs III. Ruggs, this might be a little bit overdue for him. He could go a little bit higher. I'll admit that, but he's a great player. He's an explosive player with a ton of speed. I think he'll fit into that, Cliff Kingsbury offense, which has been doing surprisingly well, these last couple weeks, especially against the 49ers on Thursday. And I think, adding Ruggs in there with, you still got Andy Isabella, you got Christian Kirk, Larry Fitz, he's mentoring all those guys, obviously. I think that's a great weapon to add. I would ideally have a lineman go here, but I think this might be it's a weird spot, picking a lineman at 17. I don't think there's really any linemen that fit that, to be honest. But yeah, they take Henry Ruggs III.
Yep. All right. And now 18, you have Oakland again. Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah.
At 18, they go with cornerback Kristen Fulton. Where's you from?
LSU.
LSU.
Yeah.
So again, this the number one team in the land right now.
Yeah.
LSU, because of this defense and this offense. They're just great all around. But they need cornerback help.
Yeah, they traded Garyon Conley to the Texans for nothing, basically. What, they gave up a 7th-round pick?
Yeah, so they need to replace that, and this is the guy they go and get.
Oh, yeah. He'll have his hands full with Henry Ruggs and, Jerry Jeudy coming up. But, he's a good guy over there. He might go higher if he has a good game against Alabama. You never know.
Yeah.
All right, so we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 19. We have them taking offensive guard / center Tyler, is it Biadasz?
Yeah, that's
Biadasz?
correct.
Something like that.
Yeah.
He's from Wisconsin?
No, he's from Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's from Wisconsin.
Yeah, I thought it was Stanford earlier.
Yeah,
I knew it was one of the big red letters, so.
Big red letters.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's the guard from Wisconsin. Just because I got his name wrong, potentially, or, don't know where he plays, it doesn't mean he's not a good player. He's been blocking for Jonathan Taylor for a couple years, so, obviously he's been doing some good there because Taylor's been racking up those yardage. He's a fantastic run blocker, a solid pass blocker. Jacksonville, they kind of need to fix, I wouldn't say it's a glaring, weakness on their team, but...
Yeah, just to bolster it up.
Yeah, add some beef up front. That's the biggest thing here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, so then we have the Carolina Panthers at 20.
Okay.
We agreed on cornerback C.J. Henderson, cornerback out of Florida.
Yep.
We have him going here. I mean, Carolina's they're an interesting team right now.
Yeah.
They're young.
They could go a lot of different directions.
Yeah, but I think having a good corner help lock down receivers would be a good start for them here.
Yeah, on the other side of Dante Jackson. Build that defense to continue to do that. But yeah. All right, so we have Dallas at 21.
Sorry you have to say his name.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We have the tight end out of Missouri. I'm sorry, but I don't know. Albert Akaway. Okay, forget that.
Akaway-Bunema.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say like that. We'll call him Big Al.
Yeah, Big Al.
Yeah, the big old 6'7", 260, 270-pound tight end out of Missouri. This guy's easily the best tight end in this draft. He has the potential to move up because a lot of people have been sleeping on him, but he's slowly been, building up those stats for Missouri, catching passes from Kelly Bryant over there. And he's a big old, tight end. I think he's a solid blocker, but he's an even better pass catcher. He might be one of the more elite pass catchers in this draft, which is already, filled with a number of fantastic pass catchers. I think Dallas finally got that guy who will someday be the, heir to Jason Witten's tight end position. He could be a really big weapon. Reminds me a lot of Gronk, but possibly more athletic, to be honest. So keep an eye out for this guy.
All right, and speaking of one of those good pass catchers.
Yep.
Here at 22, Miami is again on the clock.
Again, yeah.
And they go and get Laviska Shenault, receiver from Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
If you've seen this guy play, he's basically Julio Jones.
Yeah.
Obviously, he still doesn't have the accolades and has to play in the NFL like Julio Jones, but he's size-wise and measurables, he's the same as Julio Jones.
Yeah, I agree.
He's a monster. He can do everything. We're from Colorado, so I see CU play all the time.
Yeah.
I'm a really big fan of them. So I see him play. He's played all positions, really. He plays receiver. He's a monster at receiver. He plays wildcat quarterback.
He does.
And he runs the ball, too. I'm sure he can throw it.
Oh, yeah.
But he's a big dude, a mismatch for most corners, even in the NFL.
He's tough to tackle.
He's a big dude, fast, strong. And I think this just helps revamp the whole Miami offense. They have no offensive players really at all right now.
Yeah.
So they trade them all away. So they're restocking, and I think they have probably one of the best first rounds here in a long time we've ever seen.
Yep, potentially. If
getting Joe Burrow, Jonathan Taylor, and Laviska Shenault, those are all top 3 at their position.
Yeah, that's a big 3 to build around for sure. That's a good-looking big 3 too.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, so we're going to continue this wide receiver trend. We have the Indianapolis Colts at 23. We have them taking wide receiver T. Higgins out of Clemson. How big is he? He's like 6'3", right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big guy with some speed, a lot like Laviska Shenault. I mean, so Indianapolis, they need a pass catcher. I'd say T.Y. Hilton's been missing a lot of games to injury. I think it might be because of age as well. So I think it's about time to add somebody on the other side of T.Y. at least by getting T. Higgins. And, he's a playmaker, a big guy. He'll go up and get it. He's a jump ball type of guy. And he has some speed to him as well.
Yeah, I think T. Higgins reminds me of Kelvin Benjamin. I'm going to say Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah.
Both ACC guys, both big, faster.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Hopefully T. Higgins turns out better, though.
Yeah. All right. So then at 24, we have the Minnesota Vikings.
Yep.
We have them taking safety Xavier McKinley
out of
Alabama. McKinney out of Alabama.
Yeah.
We have them taking him. I mean, if you get any safety from Alabama, you're going to be...
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Be fine, yeah.
Yeah.
We have this here because, they have Harrison Smith, but they traded away or lost to free agency.
Sendejo.
Yeah, Sendejo, so they need to refill that situation. I think this is a plug right there. This is your guy you put in there right away.
That's a nice little pickup right there, actually. Well, all right, so at 25, we have the Baltimore Ravens, and we have them taking linebacker. He could play inside or outside. Kenneth Murray out of Oklahoma. I was really impressed by this guy watching him play against the University of Texas. He was all over the place, getting sacks, stopping the run. He's a fast guy, but he's around 6'1", 240. But he could fly a bit, He plays well. He's a very versatile guy. Baltimore, some reason, I still don't know why, they let go of C.J. Mosley, so they need to replace him. And I think Kenneth Murray, he's that guy. And he's just another plug-and-play guy. They're getting a lot of value right here out of him at 25.
Yep. All right, so then at 26, we have the Seattle Seahawks taking offensive guard Solomon Kinley out of Georgia. He is the second lineman from Georgia to go in the first round here.
Yep.
We think Seattle needs to continue to protect Russell Wilson. I mean, he's playing as a MVP this year, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I think that he needs to be protected, and they don't have a great offensive line. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not great. So I think they could just add a guy here and help him out. Yeah.
I think, Seattle has had a bad line, and we've seen what happened to quarterbacks who have had bad lines. We literally just saw Andrew Luck, who was drafted before Russell Wilson in that same draft, retire. So if they're not careful, they might lose Russell Wilson early. So I think this is a great move.
Yeah.
All right, so at 27, which is really high. I wouldn't have expected this either. But we have the Buffalo Bills. We have them taking Ohio State running back J.K. Dobbins. You like him a lot.
I do.
He is somebody who he's a quick guy. He could get the job done on the ground, but he could also do some damage through the air by catching it. He's somebody you could potentially be an every down type of back as well. So the Buffalo Bills, they do have Frank Gore, but we all know that he's up there, so he's going to go soon. And they have Devin Singletary, who had a great game today, by the way. But still, I think adding J.K. Dobbins, it solidifies that running back group.
Yeah, I think that's a great running back group if you have those three.
Oh, yeah.
Devin Singletary, Frank Gore,
yeah,
and J.K. Dobbins. I don't think you go wrong with that. I think that's one of the better receiving cores in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Running back cores.
Running back cores, yeah. Potentially, yeah. I think this is a pick that's, it's a value pick. It's hard seeing J.K. Dobbins fall out of the first round.
Yeah, because, I watched him play, and he just looks...
He looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. But yeah.
All right, so then at 28, we have the Green Bay Packers taking defensive end Yetur Gross-Matos.
Out of Penn State.
Penn State, yep, Penn State. Some people considered him to be the second best pass rusher behind Chase Young.
Yeah.
But we'll see. He hasn't made a ton of noise this year.
Well, he's racked up some sacks, but not like Chase Young.
Yeah, so I definitely think that he can go into Green Bay. Green Bay needs a good pass rusher.
Yeah.
They've had good pass rushers in the past, but they've all just moved on, and they're all older. And Clay Matthews is now in Los Angeles, and so they need to revamp that pass rush there in Green Bay.
Yeah, I agree. I think this might be a steal if he goes here too, because he's looked good. I've watched some of his film. He's a very I'm not going to say lanky. He's a long football player, but he loses that length very well, and he's quick. Well, yeah. All right, so at 29, we have Kansas City. They're taking running back DeAndre Swift out of Georgia. All right, so Kansas City, they tried this whole, they're still trying this whole running back by committee thing. I think it's time to, axe that get an actual running back who could carry the load, DeAndre Swift. He's somebody who could do it on both sides of the ball, I think. Or not both sides of the ball. But, he could run, he could catch it, and he will be a good player for them.
And I know a lot of people would say, like, why wouldn't the Bills take DeAndre Swift and J.K. Dobbins? Well, I mean, like, let's think about it. Kansas City needs a running back that can do it all.
Yeah.
Whereas you look at the Bills, and they have guys already there. They just need to add that dynamic change of pace back that no one's ready for.
For sure, yeah, I agree. I think I could easily see those running backs being in switch positions as well. So,
yep. All right, so then at 30 we have the New Orleans Saints.
Yep.
Taking inside linebacker, outside linebacker, and Fernie Jennings.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
Alabama,
another Alabama guy here. Again, if you go anyone from Alabama on defense, we've seen that they play well in the NFL.
Yeah. And the Saints, this linebacking core is their weakness. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I mean,
so
it could be the whole weakness of the most weak part of their whole team. So if you address this, you're looking good.
Yeah, you still are looking good actually. But yeah. No. All right, so we have the San Francisco 49ers. We have them taking the Virginia cornerback, Bryce Hall. So San Francisco, they don't have a lot of holes on this team, but I think getting another corner to, learn from Richard Sherman and whatnot, who I feel like is a pretty solid mentor because he's a smart guy. But I think getting a guy like Bryce Hall, a young guy in there, you start to build that depth at corner. You hopefully get a guy who could be a potential number 2 guy to Richard Sherman. And, he's a good value pick right here.
Yep.
At 31.
I think Bryce Hall's a very interesting player to talk about. I know beginning of the season, even through the first 3 weeks of the college football season, a lot of people said that he was the number 1 cornerback overall.
Yeah.
I think he did get a little bit exposed when he started playing a better competition in the ACC and like a Notre Dame team when they played him. But I still think he definitely could develop into a starting NFL corner. Oh, yeah. I think he's still good. He has good size, good speed, and I think again, if the 49ers get him here, I think it could be a steal if he pans out right.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think they have good players to mentor him as well. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, and then with the last pick of the first round in the 2020 draft, they're New England Patriots, which would stink because that means they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But this would also stink. We have them taking Jake Fromm, quarterback out of Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
Which would be a nightmare for all of the NFL because if Tom Brady plays one more year and they get Jake Fromm, they basically have Tom Brady 2.0.
Yeah.
Just right back in there, so it's not going to happen. Like, Jake Fromm hasn't played the best. I mean, he's played well still this year. Very good.
Yeah.
Definitely first-round talent still.
He's very up and down, though.
Yeah, but I think if he gets in the system with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady mentors him, I think he skyrockets and plays for 14 years for the Patriots.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Fromm, he has one of those personalities, that are just it's built to last. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the type of guy you like in your locker room. He's a natural-born leader. He speaks well. He's a hard worker. He's always grinding and all that. I think he fits perfectly in this Patriots, offense. I don't think there are any other quarterbacks who are a better fit than Jake Fromm, to be honest, actually. Like, I see a lot of similarities between him and Tom Brady already. And I think he might already, with those similarities, compared to where Tom Brady was coming from, out of college, Jake Fromm is in a much better spot. And so I think this is a fantastic pick. It would be a steal. It makes sense to me, honestly. And, there are rumors that Tom Brady, he'll be done after this season.
I mean, his contract is expiring, so.
Oh, yeah. He put his house up for sale. So either he's going to retire or he's going to leave. And so I think taking a quarterback here is smart. Nothing against, Jarrett Stidham that they had over there. Nothing against Jarrett Stidham, the quarterback that they drafted over there. But I think Jake Fromm's a better pick. He's a plug-and-play guy if he has to.
Mm-hmm. I think he fits the Bill Belichick offense, like we said.
And the culture as well.
Yeah, in my expert opinion, I think that Tom Brady's done. Yeah, so they need to get that guy going. And what about there's just no better guy than Jake Fromm for that offense and that system.
Yeah. It would be. I hate seeing that because I really do like Jake Fromm as a person and as a quarterback, and I know you do too. But seeing him go to the Patriots would be it'd be the worst. But it'd probably be the best situation.
Him, yeah.
Yeah, like this is perfect. I think with where his draft stock is at, it's kind of lining up for this to happen.
Yeah.
Either way, whether the Patriots are at 32 or 30 or 31, like this is something that could happen.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. And that's it. That's the end of the first round.
Yeah.
Last note. I'm not on the draft. I'm just giving you an update on the Broncos.
Yeah.
How Simon? Tell me how on earth you can get a too many men on the field on a kneel down at the end of a half. The Browns just got penalized for too many men on the field at halftime.
The Broncos or
no,
Browns?
The Browns.
Oh, the Browns?
Yeah.
Well, they hired the wrong coach. Well, that's coming up next on NFL Talk with me, Jesse, and Kodey.
Yep.
Coming
Stay
up
tuned.
next. All right, what's good, y'all? So we got the NFL midseason review. At the beginning of the season, me and Jesse, we got to go over the NFL. So we're gonna be looking back at those results and predict the future of this 2019-2020 NFL season.
That's what we're doing, right, Kodey?
That's what we're doing.
Okay. Good.
Yes, it is what we're doing. So we're gonna go division by division. We're gonna go division winners first. So let's start with the NFC North. Who do y'all have?
Packers.
Yeah, the Packers.
Packers.
Winning.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was like, Jesse.
Packers
hold
winning
on.
it. I thought we were doing just our division winners, our seeds. But anyways, yes, I have the Packers winning.
Packers,
Yeah.
and I have them at the 3 seed.
I also have them in the 3 seed.
Oh, same.
All right, we all
Wow,
agree.
that never happens. What do we do?
I don't know.
Is there? I mean, there's not much to talk about. Let's just keep going.
Yeah, that's
3
easy.
seed in
Yeah.
the NFC. Green Bay Packers
They
win.
should
All right,
win it.
great.
Yeah, I don't see the Vikings catching up, to be honest. Let's go NFC East. Who do y'all have winning the division?
I have the Cowboys.
I have the Eagles winning it.
I have the Cowboys too. But
The
why
Eagles are just too
They're-
inconsistent
I think,
for me.
I think
why do you think they'll win it?
I don't know. I just don't think Dallas can do it. I really don't. I don't think Dallas does it. That's why. I don't think it's that the Eagles are good. I think it's that Dallas can't pull it out.
I just feel like
Really?
the Eagles are less consistent than the Cowboys. Because, like, with the Cowboys, I know what I'm going to get week in and week out, excluding that, like, Jets game.
Yeah.
But the Eagles, they're either going to, like, blow out some team like the Bills, or they got killed by Dallas. So, like, I
That's
literally
true.
have no idea what to expect. And,
Yeah.
like, that inconsistency doesn't spell playoffs for me.
Yeah, as of right now, I'm kind of, that's the same. Like, I don't know if I could trust them. Like, they beat some good teams. Like, they beat the Packers in Green Bay. But I don't know.
They just lose to bad teams like Dallas.
Yeah, and sometimes, Carson
you
Wentz.
just said yourself, Dallas is a bad team.
Yeah, but, like,
Okay.
they're more consistent.
I don't
Okay.
think they're a bad
Alright.
team. They just got to put it
It definitely is a toss-up, but I think,
No matter who wins the NFC East, they're the 4 seed.
yeah, they're the 4 seed. I have the Eagles with the 4 seed or
I think-
Dallas, either one.
Yeah, I have the Cowboys
Hey,
at 4 seed.
same actually.
Because
Yeah.
they're the worst divisions.
Yes.
Yeah. But so the Cowboys are 4-3, Eagles are 5-4. So we're recording this on November 4th. So the Cowboys have not played the
Yet.
Giants yet. That should be a good game. But we'll have to see. I still think Dallas, they'll pull it out. I mean, I don't know. They just have to beat out the Eagles.
If either team wins 10 games, they've won the division.
Yep. But they're still
Probably, yeah.
still the 4 seed.
But they'll probably be 9-7.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right. So let's go NFC South. Who do y'all have winning it all?
I have the Saints winning.
I have the Saints winning.
Same. Okay, that's easy. yeah.
I have
They're
the
the best team in the NFC in my opinion.
Yeah.
You have the 1 seed?
Yeah.
I have the 2
I have
seed.
them as the one
I have
seed.
the 2 seed.
I have them at 2 as well.
I have 2 as well.
But I could see it switching up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought so when Teddy Bridgewater took over for the Saints, I was very impressed. I thought Sean Payton did a good job. They played well as a team, and they were able to survive. Now they have Drew Brees, and they have another bye this week, so he'll get even more healthy. I think the Saints team, this may be their year.
It could be their year.
It might be
for
their
sure.
year. We'll have to see, but I like him.
So yeah, I'm the 2 seed.
All right, sweet.
I have them as the 1 seed.
All right,
Okay.
well, they're at 2 for me as well. All right, so the last the last division in this conference is the NFC West. This one should be an obvious one. It's the 49ers, right?
I have 49ers
I have the
winning.
49ers.
Okay.
I was kind
And
of
I
going
have-
back and forth because I thought the Seahawks maybe be able to catch up.
I don't think so.
But I have them as the
Yeah.
2 seed.
I have them as the 1 seed just because they don't play as tough of a schedule. Or the Saints play a tougher schedule, and I just think that the 49ers are going to...
See, I think the pivotal game is that San Fran goes into New Orleans.
That is a big
that'll be
one.
So
game to decide.
beating New Orleans in New Orleans is
That's a
hard.
big one.
So I
The
feel
only
like
reason-
if the Saints win that game, they'll be good to go.
The only reason I put the 49ers on top is their defense. The defense is very good.
I mean, so is the Saints defense.
Yeah,
They've only allowed
I would-
19.5 points per game.
I would probably still take the 49ers defense over the Saints defense.
Yeah.
Well, I'd take it over, but I feel like the Saints are a better, well-rounded team overall.
Okay. So wait, where did you have the 49ers?
Number 1 seed.
All right, same, yeah.
Yeah. So not too different. We
We'll have
agree
to-
that the Niners and the Saints are the best two teams in the NFC.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. That could be interchangeable too, in my opinion. Jimmy Garoppolo, he showed me something finally against the Cardinals. And I know it's the Cardinals, but they have some players there that could make it difficult for them. I like it. I like Jimmy G right now. We'll have to see if he could sustain that. The defense has been playing well, so I think the Niners might be one that...
look for,
Actually,
yeah.
no. I don't think this could be their year. I'll say that right now.
I don't think they're going to win in the Super Bowl. I just think they're the number 1 seed going in.
Oh, yeah.
They could potentially be good for the next few years, too.
Yep.
Yeah, all right, that's fair. All right, so we're going to switch conferences. We're about to go into the AFC. Let's start with the AFC North. It's the Ravens, right?
Yeah,
It's the
I have the
Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah.
They're one of the better teams in the AFC. However, I still have them as the 3 seed.
I have them as the
Really?
2nd seed.
I have them at 1 because I think it will probably come down to that tiebreaker between the Ravens and Patriots, and the Ravens beat them.
Yeah,
in Fox.
the only thing I
Not
think about is the Patriots are just going to have more wins going in just because they play
They have a way
puffy
easier
schedule.
schedule.
Like literally, they play clouds. Basically.
Well, wait, but did y'all see their schedule for the second half?
Yeah, it's still easy.
It's still easy.
They play one
Cowboys,
good game.
Eagles. What's the good game?
I would
The
say,
Chiefs.
yeah.
Chiefs. Yeah, that's the other one. I think the Cowboys and Eagles might be able to steal a win.
We'll see. But I have the Ravens at 2.
I mean, they play them next, right?
Who?
The Patriots play the Cowboys next.
I thought it was the Eagles.
Whatever team the Patriots play next, they're going to probably kill. Because they just bounce back like that. They don't
Well,
really lose 2 games in a row.
I know, but we'll have to see. I'll be honest. Here, we'll talk about the Patriots later. But what do y'all think about this Ravens team in general, though? Like, how good is this team? How far could they go?
They're legit. They could go to the Super Bowl this year.
I think they could definitely go to the Super Bowl as well.
Okay.
I think this could be.
I think they're well-rounded. I think their defense just gets better every week.
That's true.
Marlon Humphreys is a man.
And then they have.
And Jimmy Smith is great, and they picked up Marcus Peters.
Yeah.
And with them having 2 good cornerbacks already, Marcus Peters can just kind of play the way he likes to play, where he just kind of plays the ball.
Yeah. Plus, you have Earl Thomas over the top, so it'll clean up any mistakes you make.
Yeah. Their secondary got way better before the trade deadline.
Yeah.
And their front 7 is still solid. So.
Oh yeah. And then this is the type of team that could basically pound you into the ground between Lamar, Mark Ingram, even Gus Edwards at times, and Justice Hill at times.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gus Edwards for stealing one of Mark Ingram's touchdowns last night and costing me 6 points in fantasy.
That's right. You were gonna lose anyways.
That's true. Hey, but shout out to Gus
Fair enough.
Edwards for throwing that great block on Dante Hightower for that Lamar Jackson touchdown.
Hey, remember when Julian Edelman fumbled the ball and Marlon Humphreys took it 79 yards to the house?
Yep, that happened.
God, I love watching the Patriots lose.
Oh yeah. Don't we all?
But the Ravens are legit.
Yeah, I like him. I like the swag that they have. I really like Lamar Jackson too as a leader. I don't know if y'all saw this, but it's the little things that count to me. But they were at the goal line and they did a dive, and I think Lamar was celebrating early, but they were stopped short. And I saw Lamar go up to each of his linemen and help them up. And I feel like that's just a very mature and leadership type of thing to do. And he's only 22 as well.
No,
So-
Lamar Jackson's going to be good for a very long time.
Oh yeah, I like it. I'm glad he's proving all the haters wrong, because those haters were low-key ignorant. But
Yeah, remember when they said he should play receiver?
yeah, or running back. Stupid.
Now he's gonna be one of the top
No, he's
quarterbacks
just-
here now.
Yeah.
He has a lot of potential. But anyways, so we're gonna move on. We have the
AFC East.
the AFC East.
Patriots.
Yeah. Wow, I thought there would be more. Okay, I said Patriots too, but I thought y'all might make, especially you, Kodey, y'all might make an argument for the Bills.
Well, the
here.
Bills are gonna make the playoffs. They're just not gonna win the division.
Not gonna
We'll
beat
talk
the
about that
Patriots.
later.
Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah,
I'm
Patriots.
not so hot on the Bills anymore.
Really?
They'll still make it. I think we'll talk about it. In the
Their
podcast,
schedule's
but-
just as soft as the Patriots.
But do you,
yeah, because that division is soft. But
Well, hold up. But do you think, because they're gonna play again, do you think the Bills could beat the Patriots though?
No, it's in Foxborough this time. If they were going to win, they would have beat them in Buffalo.
Okay.
Which
So
I think
there's
they
no
should have.
chance.
They should have. If
Didn't take.
Josh Allen played, they would have beat them in Buffalo.
I mean, it's a cheap shot that Josh Allen took. So.
Yeah. So it's.
All right. Anyways, but I have the Patriots winning, and they have them the number 1 seed.
I have them as the 2 seed.
I have them at 3. But
Their schedule gets a lot tougher.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I feel like I know which team you have ahead of them and below the Ravens.
Yeah, you probably. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. They got exposed last night. They're lying, They've been like whooping on these trash teams, and they got exposed. They need Isaiah Wynn back. That's important. You need your left tackle. And then Tom Brady, he did not look good.
No.
He was making stupid decisions.
Yeah. How does
which
it feel,
is
Patriots,
concerning.
to actually play a real football team? Like that's.
I
a
want to
real
see how
football
this
team.
defense does against other teams. Like I'm curious to see how they do against Dallas, who has like a pretty decent trio in Cooper, Prescott, and Zeke.
Yeah.
I want to see how they do against them, because I feel like like any team, like they got scored on 37 by the Ravens, which is like a solid offense, but
Yeah.
you don't expect the Ravens to put up 37 points like regularly.
They can. though.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm just saying because they run the ball so much.
Yeah, but also I don't think it's on the Patriots' defense. So it's not the Patriots' defense that's concerning me, because I think they will bounce back. They still got the players. I feel like this was definitely an off game, but see, when the defense has an off game, you expect the offense to pull their weight. And they did not do that at all. There were definitely times they were just out of sync, and they weren't running the ball well, and I don't know, Tom Brady was making some weird throws. Like in the fourth quarter, he just chucked it deep. It wasn't accurate at all, and it wasn't the right decision because Earl Thomas picked it off 10 yards from where he should have threw it. And that's concerning. Like Tom's arm, I keep saying Tom Brady's arm. It looks really weak in my
Simon
opinion.
and Tom Brady know each other on a first name basis.
No,
Yeah.
we don't. Because if we did, he'd
Tom
kiss
Brady
me
lets
on
Simon.
the lips.
Tom Brady lets Simon kiss his kids on the lips.
Pause. But also. No, wait, pause. I was trying to go into another point, and then I forgot it. Anyways, Tom Brady's arm is weak.
Yes.
And I think that's why, Jesse, you and I had Jake Fromm going to them, because
Right.
it doesn't even matter. Like, it could be any quarterback, not just Jake Fromm.
But I did say early in the podcast, like I said, I think this is Tom Brady's last year. I think he's going to retire and be done.
Yeah, he put up his house in Foxborough for sale. I don't know. And then there's a lot more rumors that, like, they're going to try to force him out this
His
year.
supermodel wife really hates the fact that he's still playing football too.
That's true, too.
And if I was married to her, I might listen.
I mean, it's about time. You've won 6 rings. If
Yeah,
you don't
he's-
get one this year, you could live with that, I think.
Yeah.
But maybe he comes back. I don't know.
All right. Anyways.
Let's talk about a real division, like the AFC South,
Mm-hmm.
that I think is interesting.
Okay.
I have the Texans winning it.
I also have
don't-
the Texans
so,
winning.
we have all this established. Why
Yeah.
do we not believe in the Colts, even though the Colts put it to the Texans literally like 2 weeks ago?
Jacoby Brissett just went down. That's why.
Yeah, they say he has an MCL sprain, but if y'all saw the video, that MCL must be really elastic for it to not tear because.
He said really elastic.
Well, honestly, yeah, because like his leg it bends almost all the way over. I do not know how that's not a tear. I mean, I guess he was able to walk on it, but you don't. If you're the Colts, don't do this. I know they're thinking about it. Don't play Jacoby Brissett with a torn MCL and just say it was sprained, because then he turns into RG3 2.0.
Yeah.
Why do y'all think Andrew Luck left?
That's probably true too. I feel like the Colts organization, they don't take care of their quarterbacks as well as they should.
Yep.
And so they might be caught in, thinking oh, well, this might be the year Jacoby Brissett could play through it and it'll go down in history. But no, you have many more years ahead. It'll be okay. I don't know. They're saying it's a sprain, but I think the Colts might be done. As great of a season as it's been so far, I would not risk it with Jacoby Brissett right now.
Yeah, and Brian Hoyer's not the answer.
No.
Never has been.
No.
No, yeah, he looked like trash. So yeah, I have the Texans winning it.
I also have the Texans
I have
winning.
him as the 4 seed.
They're my 3 seed.
Oh wait, where did I have him? I have him at the 4 seed.
There you
So,
go.
yeah, that hit to JJ Watt, that kind of.
What do your seeds look like right now, Jesse?
I have the Patriots at 1, the Ravens at 2, and the Texans at 3.
So,
The Chiefs are 4, yes.
Here,
I
let's talk about that. So the AFC West, we have the Chiefs winning.
All the
it,
Chiefs
right?
winning, yes.
Okay,
have the Chiefs winning. I have the Chiefs as the number 1 seed.
okay, I have them at 2.
I have them at 4.
Why do you have them at
Why?
4?
Because Mahomes is coming
No, I know
back.
Mahomes is coming back, but I just think have the Texans played the Chiefs yet?
Yeah, the Texans beat the Chiefs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they have that tiebreaker.
Okay.
I just
The
think
Chiefs face like the rest of the AFC West.
yeah,
which are,
but I think
It's a cakewalk. No offense to y'all, but
I think Oakland has I think they're not going to win, but I think that could be an interesting game to watch.
it's in
Okay.
Kansas City.
I still think Oakland could make some noise.
I think that the Chiefs might only lose one game down the stretch,
I can
and
see
it's
that.
one of the Chargers games. Maybe 2 if they lose to the Patriots in Foxborough.
See, I don't know. I think they might beat the Patriots.
That's
But-
why I have them as the 1 seed, is them beating the Patriots and having the tiebreaker.
I had to really wrestle with it. I almost had the Chiefs at the 1 seed over the Ravens, but I think this Chiefs team did a really good job responding to Mahomes' injury, and they played as good as you could expect, right? They beat the Vikings, which I didn't think was going to happen, which probably says a lot more about the Vikings than the Chiefs.
I'm going to say I watched the game. It was pretty I would say the Chiefs got some lucky bounces at the end there.
Okay.
They-
Well, they stole it then.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt Moore got sacked 3 times, fumbled it all 3 times, and it bounced right back into his hands all 3 times.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I still feel like this Chiefs team, it's this stretch without Mahomes that showed me that they're capable of being the number 1 seed.
Oh, yeah.
Because they absolutely throttled the Broncos with Matt Moore.
Yeah.
They destroyed us. They competed with the Packers.
That's
Like,
true.
they were never out of that game against Green Bay.
That's
Green
true.
Bay had to ball out to win
same
that
time
game.
Green Bay lost to the Chargers, so, you know.
That was a fluke. I think that's
Yeah,
a
I
fluke.
feel like that's just a fluke.
Yeah. The
And then
Chargers are gonna get
beating the
those
Vikings, you know, obviously playing at home helps out, but like all the other guys stepped in, and when this Chiefs team is fully healthy, they're dangerous.
Yeah, and I think with Mahomes coming back, this is probably the first time they've been fully healthy since the beginning of the season. Because Tyreek is there still. You got all your receivers there. Travis Kelce's been there. So,
I think the only one they're missing is LaShawn McCoy. Is she still playing?
Yeah, he's still there.
Okay.
So everyone's healthy.
Damian Williams is fully healthy.
Yep.
Went off for a 91-yard run
Yep.
against the Vikings.
Oh, yeah. Having an easy schedule with a fully healthy roster, it's hard to count out the Chiefs.
Oh, they're definitely going to make the playoffs. I still think
Well,
they're
yeah.
I think I know my we'll get to it in a second, but I think my division or AFC Conference Championship is the Chiefs and the Ravens.
Okay. That's fair.
So
That's fair.
All right, well, we'll see. All right, so the Chiefs win that division. Okay, so we're gonna stay in the AFC for now. So I'm gonna ask y'all both, and then I'm gonna answer the question as well. So who are your 2 wild cards, and then the first 2 teams out of the playoffs?
My 5 seed is the Steelers, and my 6 seed is the Raiders, with the Bills being just on the outside looking in, and the Chargers being the 8 seed on the outside looking in.
Huh.
okay, I have the Bills as my 5th seed.
Okay.
Again, cakewalk through the division,
Okay.
and I still have the Colts
Okay.
as the 7th or the 6th seed. I think Jacoby Brissett, and then at the 6th seed I have the Colts. Like we just talked about, I think when they probably shouldn't play Jacoby Brissett, I think they're gonna play Jacoby Brissett, and I think he can still win the games for him.
I mean, yeah, he probably still could. I really struggled with this, so I have the Bills at 5. I feel like that's an obvious one. They could be higher, but I mean they'd have to win their division. To
Do you guys want to hear the teams that the Bills have beat?
Who?
They beat the Jets by 1, the New York Giants with Eli Manning by 2 touchdowns,
Okay.
the Bengals by 4,
Yeah.
the Titans by 7,
Yep.
the Dolphins by 10, and the Redskins.
Yeah.
They have faced the worst teams in the NFL.
Wins
They
a win.
still have an easy schedule ahead of them.
Yeah.
They still have an easy schedule ahead of them as well, though. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think the Bills will beat the Cowboys, the Ravens, or the Steelers, or the Patriots. That's 4 losses.
Speaking of the Steelers, I have the Steelers at 6, and then the Colts are just barely out, and then Raiders right after that.
Yeah, and then my 2 last out, so I have the 7th seed is Pittsburgh,
Okay.
8th seed is Oakland.
Okay. Here, let's start from the bottom up. Let's talk about Pittsburgh. I was surprised, Cody, that you had them so high. You tell me why.
I mean, their schedule's a cakewalk down the stretch, and things are starting to come together for Mason Rudolph and company. I mean, don't get me wrong, Juju dropping that pass that landed right into Colts defender's hands is tough, but I mean, like, the Steelers still beat a good team in the Colts, regardless of the Brissett injury. You know, like, that's still a tough defense that the Steelers put up 26 on, and I just think that they have a great defense as well. And is it Devin Bush?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been playing lights out. And he's definitely a Defensive Rookie of the Year candidate. So, which is great for them filling in for Ryan Shazier, the gap that he left. But I feel like they're just an overall solid team, and they face overall not solid teams, and that translates to wins.
That's Minka Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick.
Minka Fitzpatrick.
He's low-key the MVP of his defense right now.
Yeah.
Nothing against TJ Watt, who has like 9 sacks right now, or Bud Dupree, who has like 6 or 7.
See, this is what I'm talking about. The Steelers have a lot of very well-rounded players on their defense, and they can do just enough on offense to win.
See, here's the thing, though. I have them at 6, just barely edging out the Colts, because first off, I feel like the Colts are going to screw up and start Jacoby Brissett, and he'll get hurt, and then that's it. And it's all downhill from there. I think that's too much pressure for Brian Hoyer. He's not built like that. No. We all know that. He's not.
Brian Hoyer plays the Colts, don't make the playoffs.
No,
right.
Yeah, if he plays at all, yeah.
I actually put the Colts at the 8th seed instead of the Chargers.
Okay.
But because Jacoby Brissett maybe comes back, but I feel like Brian Hoyer, the damage that Brian Hoyer does,
it'd be bad.
Is too much.
Yeah. But I do have the Steelers making it in. Like you said, for their defense. I've been watching the games a lot because I am a Steelers fan, and Mason Rudolph has not been the same since that concussion. I don't know if y'all can notice that, but he's very like he's just been playing weird. Like he overthinks it, and you could literally see it in his eyes as he like hesitates to throw deep, or like hesitates to throw check down sometimes. Like he had a really nice find to Vance McDonald yesterday, where he like scanned the defense, did well. But I'm very concerned about Mason Rudolph. I think he's the reason why this team will not make the playoffs, if there's any, and why we're the 6th seed as well, because he's capping us. Also, I'm gonna give Mike Tomlin his due. I've been really hard on him these last couple of years, but looking at the schedule and how well the Steelers have been playing, I think he's done a good job keeping it together. I don't think there are many other coaches that could keep us at 4-4 right now through everything we've been through. Start like rotating quarterbacks, basically. It's a quarterback carousel up until this week really, and just all these injuries too. And I'm losing a star like Le'Veon Bell and a star like Antonio Brown, both who have combined worse records than the Steelers.
Y'all know you hit him up though, right?
We did.
Steelers were up late texting their ex. Learn a lesson from the Steelers and don't do that, kids.
Well, okay, but there wasn't anything wrong with that. I would have been okay with that, because Le'Veon would have came in and we'd be doing him a favor. Because right now he's on the Jets forever, and they're never going to the playoffs. I don't think they'll ever go to.
Unless they get an offensive line, maybe.
I'm gonna own up to a mistake I made in my preview by having the Jets be a wild card as like the 6th seed. I had a lot of faith in the offense, which is the problem, and they just lost to the Dolphins. Yeah. So I'll own up to that.
That's fair. Yeah. I'm not high on the Jets at all. I think Sam Darnold, he's been a problem. Jesse, you and I saw it coming, and it's manifesting.
I knew it from the moment they drafted him.
Yeah.
I think if you ask me, because I'm a Colorado fan, I saw him play twice.
Yeah. 2
times in Bullard, and he throws the ball to the other team. Basically, that's really what he does. Yeah, you can see it in the NFL here. And I think he should have stayed at least 2 more years at USC.
Oh, yeah. Because
I think USC, first of all, back to college football, I think USC, if he would have stayed there and played, they would have won a national championship at some point with him.
Probably.
So that's just dumb of him to leave that. But also, he was not ready to play in the NFL, especially be a 3rd round draft or a 3rd overall pick. Absolutely not. So I could have told you that from the beginning when they drafted him. He was not ready to come in.
Oh, same. Like I probably would have had him at a 3rd round pick grade at best, to be honest. Maybe 2nd round.
I probably wouldn't have even picked him in that draft.
Yeah. Well, ideally I wouldn't have picked him, but if he's there in the 3rd round, anyways, it's just that's that. But with the Steelers, that's my opinion on them. I think there's still a pretty good chance that they don't make it. I think they'll go 500, but
yeah. I don't think they make it either. But then also this other one that we talked about came up a few times. Oakland still has a fighting chance. So
they don't face a very tough schedule.
You're right, and I think that they can.
And the way that they're winning games too, they're winning close games.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And more on Josh Jacobs later, but he's a tank for Oakland right now.
I have him on all my fantasy teams. Yeah, he's been doing.
He's the MVP of the Oakland season right now.
Yeah. The only thing is he's a little banged up, so we'll have to see
Yeah.
how that progresses. But
I've noticed that too.
yeah, we'll see how it goes. More on Josh Jacobs later, though. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, but they definitely don't face. I mean, they face the Bengals down the stretch, which is always nice for any team.
Uh-huh.
They face the Jets, the Titans, and the Jags. I feel like they only lose like 2, maybe 3 games down the stretch, and that's one of the Chargers games. I feel like they lose one of those
Yeah.
to the Chiefs, and I feel like they lose to Denver and Mile High.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. Like I said, I could see the Raiders making it in.
Me
Probably
too.
more
I have
than
them
the
as a
Colts
6
at
seed.
this point, to
Yeah.
be honest.
They could definitely make it in.
Yeah. All right. So let's switch it up. Let's go back to the NFC. Who are y'all's wild card spots and just outs in the NFC?
So I have as my 5 seed Seattle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, everyone agree on that one.
Yeah.
They're the best non-division.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
my 6th seed is the Vikings.
Same.
I
Same.
think,
Actually.
yeah, I think Kirk
Oh,
Cousins
great.
is going to play well, and they're going
Everything's fine
to
and
make
dandy
it
over
in.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These Hawks are just. I mean, the Vikings are just too good of a team to miss out on the playoffs.
Yeah, they'll make.
And I don't believe in the Rams, so
And then
who I have
my-
as my 7th seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then my 2 next teams out are Dallas,
Oh.
just because
Because
the Eagles won
okay.
the division,
Interesting.
and Carolina.
Okay.
my next 2 out are the Rams and the Panthers.
Yeah. I accidentally did 3 because I'm not good at giving directions.
You literally told us to do the next team.
Yeah, I
team
know.
out.
I had Eagles, Rams, and Panthers, but I'll be honest. I'm really disappointed the Panthers can't make it.
Yeah, they can't make it.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey's been so exciting this
Yeah.
year. It's tough that the NFC is just really
Really good.
good.
Yeah, but let's talk about the Panthers though. So this is the mid-season review. We're gonna make predictions. What's the state of that quarterback room, and how do you think they're gonna proceed?
I feel like if Cam Newton gets healthy, you have to start him.
Really,
I
you
think-
wouldn't sit him just to be safe with him?
Well, no. I'd say you sit him just to be safe, of course. But if he's healthy,
I think.
then you start him.
Okay, so
Okay.
my idea about this is if like we just said, the Panthers have no chance of making it into the playoffs. That's what we just said, right?
Yeah.
Then why not just start Kyle the rest of the year? Rest Cam Newton, get him ready for next year. That's what I would say.
Is there a situation where Will Greer might make an appearance outside of injury?
He can play outside of injury, maybe in the last game of the season.
Last 2 maybe.
Yeah.
It might be helpful to have him get in.
Yeah, give him a
to
shot.
get in there, see what you got. Do y'all believe in Kyle Allen as the future of this franchise, though?
After seeing him throw a pick to Bosa, not really.
No, I don't.
After that 49ers game, that kind of did it
I
into
think-
Kyle Allen.
Just one game, though? That's a good defense, too.
Yeah, I think Kyle Allen's playing very well, but I think he's solidifying himself as a great backup in the future. I don't think he's,
Which is
I don't
fine.
Think, yeah, I don't
It's
think
fine
he's
to
a
be a
starter.
great backup in the NFL.
I don't think he's a starter. He's going to be like,
An Alex Smith type, maybe?
Yeah.
Well, no, Alex Smith was a starter.
well,
you
so
don't
he's a
think-
backup. Alex Smith was a backup that started, really.
Yeah.
He won a lot of games. I feel like more like
Kyle Allen's won a
Kyle
lot of
Allen's
games.
going to win a lot of games, but he's not going to be a starting quarterback.
Anyways, I'm not really sure. I feel like Kyle Allen's more on like the Nick
Nick Foles?
Foles
Yeah, I can
side
see
of
that.
things.
But Nick Foles, he's about to be a starter.
Yeah,
He was a starter.
he was supposed to be the biggest free agent
Free
signing of the year.
Yeah.
I'm saying I'd take Alex Smith over Nick Foles if they're both healthy.
I mean, yeah,
Smith.
same.
Yeah.
But but with Kyle Allen though, do you not think he's a starter or what? Here, let's start with that.
I
Is he
think-
a starter?
I think you should just, before you can gauge on him, you should just let him play the rest of the year. See what happens.
Okay.
Then you can make a decision from there.
Do you think so? Last question about the Panthers.
He
Dolphins.
could.
That's true.
Definitely could. Probably start for the Broncos, too.
That's
He could
y'all. I know
probably
y'all
start
would
for the
love to
Broncos.
take Kyle Allen, but anyways, here last question
Brandon
about the.
Allen.
God.
My boy.
Hey, last question about the Panthers quarterback room. Do you think Cam Newton leaves the Panthers after this season? Is this his last season with the Panthers?
It's up to the Panthers, I think.
Well, prediction-wise,
I don't think Cam wants to leave, but
it's not up to him though.
if the Panthers could get a couple of first-round picks from a team like Chicago, a team that's literally being held back by their quarterback, then he goes.
I think
Yeah.
next year you'll still see Cam Newton in a Carolina uniform.
Really?
Yeah.
I know you said you wanted.
Well, obviously, I want him in Denver, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Well, you also said he might go to Pittsburgh.
He could. Why not?
That'd be weird.
Cam Newton's still probably in Carolina next year.
I think so too.
More than likely.
All right, that's fair. Okay. Well, here. So here's.
We all had the Rams missing out.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Rams.
It's because Jared Goff's bad, right?
There's a lot of things.
Yeah,
with
there's
that.
a lot of things wrong with
I
them.
think their
Todd Gurley's
line-
not healthy.
I don't think he's ever going to be healthy again.
Yeah, I think that might be it for him.
I think he's done.
Which is sad,
That's tough.
but he's going to be like an Andrew Luck type of story, like a what if.
Mm-hmm.
He still made it to a Super Bowl. But, like, I just think that Todd Gurley, you know, like, everyone's really quick to forget this, but he still has arthritis in his knees. Let's not act like his knees are healthy, and they probably never will be healthy.
No, I don't think Todd Gurley's ever going to be healthy again,
Yeah.
which is sad because he's
And
a really fun player to watch.
Because if he's healthy, he's the best running back in the league.
Yeah.
And I'm throwing that in with knowing Christian McCaffrey's a freak.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we forget that Todd Gurley could run for 200 yards on a pretty off day.
Yeah.
If he's
Well, I know he can. It's just, like, you can't heal arthritis. That's
Yeah.
it.
You can't. You're right, especially when you're getting banged in the knees all the time.
Yeah.
Pause.
Like, that's it. You know, it's sad to say that, but I think it might be best for him to retire soon. I mean, you could play it out, but like you're just gonna keep tearing your ACL or risking tears, and that's not like where do you want to be in a couple years? Like I just think the Rams they might need to have to find a running back. I don't think it's time to give up on Jared Goff because financially I don't think they can.
They also don't have any other draft picks, so they have to stay with Jared Goff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Jalen Ramsey trade either because they're giving away assets.
Yeah. But, changing gears, why don't we talk about relevant teams and who's going to make it to the Super Bowl?
Okay, so we're gonna give our Super Bowl predictions here.
Yep, let's hear them.
Let's start with Cody. Cody, give me your
Cody.
AFC and NFC winners.
My AFC champion is the Kansas City Chiefs,
Okay.
and my NFC champion is going to be the New Orleans Saints.
Oh.
Yeah. Sounds good.
The Saints, I have them as the 1 seed, and if they play in the Superdome after years of heartbreak, they're not going to lose this year. And now they have instant replay for really bad calls on their side, so they're not going to get ramsed again. I feel like they're just the most well-coached team in the NFL. And I feel like the Chiefs, once again, it'd be, for me, the 2 1 seeds playing.
Yeah.
I feel like the Chiefs aren't going to lose in Kansas City for a second year in a row in the AFC Championship. A game that they easily I feel like they could have beat the Patriots last year.
Yeah, they should have beat the Patriots.
And they should have beat
last
the
year.
Patriots last year. So I feel like they're just going to finish their business. Both of those teams are going to take care of what they should have finished last year.
Okay. Jesse, how about you tell us who you picked for the Super Bowl?
Okay, so
in the preview?
I'll first go back and revisit
Okay.
what I picked at the NFL preview. I had Green Bay playing the Browns.
You don't think the Browns are going to make the Super Bowl?
Don't
Jesse?
think the Browns are going to make the
No.
Super Bowl anymore. So I'll own that one. That was a bad prediction.
That's all right. We all were kind of high on the Browns.
Yeah.
We'll forgive you.
But anyway, so
Yeah.
going forward now, I have my AFC Championship, the Ravens.
Okay.
Again, Ravens Chiefs in the championship, AFC Championship, obviously.
Either one of them could easily be.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think the Ravens win it. And then my NFC Championship is the Saints and the Seahawks,
Okay.
and I think the Saints win it. So
Ooh.
That would be such a good game.
Yeah, so
oh
my-
my God.
my Super Bowl matchup is the Baltimore Ravens versus the New Orleans Saints.
That'd be pretty great. Great uniform scheme, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Actually. Also, all right, we'll get into that later. All right, so for me, I picked the Cowboys and Steelers making the Super Bowl. So theoretically, it could still happen. It'd just be very unconventional. Like, I feel like a number of injuries would have to happen. Like I said, I don't believe in Mason Rudolph. I'm going to just say it. I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers traded for a quarterback like a Cam Newton or sign a Marcus Mariota or if we drafted one. Because I'm not sure about Mason Rudolph anymore.
Famous
But
Jameis could be on the market for you.
No, he's
Especially
probably just as
Jalen
good.
Hurts. Jalen Hurts goes to Tampa Bay.
That's true.
That'd be nice.
But anyways, no, I'm not going to say that, but I don't want Jameis Winston on the Steelers for a lot of reasons. Anyways, So
This year, who's in your Super Bowl though?
Yeah.
Not your revised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, Jesse. I had the Ravens and Saints in it.
Cool.
It was just
You
yeah,
sounded like you were.
yeah,
So
Sad
we're all keen on the Saints.
yeah.
Yeah, the
I like
Saints are
the
going to win the
Saints.
NFC.
Yeah, I think this might be the year. After years of heartbreak and disappointment, this might be it.
That their curse from Bounty Gate is finally over. I think it's finally over.
Probably, unless we just jinxed it and then they, get screwed over.
Yeah, let's all knock on wood.
There you go.
Pray for the Saints, y'all.
But I like the Ravens. There's a lot of storylines in that Super Bowl potentially too, like Mark Ingram playing his old team.
Yeah. It would be a big time. Lamar Jackson going to his first Super Bowl as a 22-year-old.
Because the Saints definitely had an opportunity to draft Lamar as well, and we all thought they were because they traded up and then they didn't.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
All right.
Just that's
what we got.
And I have no problem with the Ravens making the Super Bowl.
That's what we got. So when we come back, we're going to do our mid-season awards. Sound good?
Yeah,
All
sounds
right.
good. Coming up next. All right, welcome back. So we were doing our NFL mid-season review of the 2019-2020 season. So we just talked about potential teams making it into the playoffs and Super Bowl. We're now going to talk about end of the year awards. So
Wait, are we doing end of the year awards or like mid-season awards? Like who would win it right now?
Who would win it right now?
Yeah, who
Oh,
would win it
yeah.
right
Slash,
now?
who do we
Yeah.
think is going to win it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Okay, great.
So prediction / like based off of the information we have right now.
Okay.
What if we start with the least controversial and end with MVP? I'm saying
wait.
we'll start with comeback and
Okay.
work our way to MVP.
Okay.
All right. So comeback player of the year. Who do y'all have?
Dalvin Cook.
Same.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh.
I forgot
okay.
about him.
Okay.
I have Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, okay. Second would be Dalvin Cook. Yes, obviously Dalvin Cook's having a monster year. I almost had him for my offensive player of the year. So, but Jimmy Garoppolo is just. I wouldn't say he's playing great. He's probably not playing the best, but he's winning games, and that's what all you can ask for.
But at the same time, it's not. We all know it's not. They're not winning because of Jimmy G. This last game they won because of Jimmy G. I felt.
Yeah.
But not.
I know,
Well,
but
I
at
feel
the-
like
at the
you could say the
quarterback-
same about the Vikings.
Yeah.
That when they win games, it's because Dalvin Cook's playing well.
Okay,
It's not Kirk Cousins.
But
that's
at
for sure.
the at the point of what a quarterback wants to do in the NFL is win football games, and Jimmy Garoppolo is winning football games. They're the only undefeated team left.
I'd like to see how he plays the second half.
All right,
I think they'll win a lot of games, but like if he could, pad up his stats, that'd be good too.
but right now, from what I have, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay. Well, we
I
have
feel you on
Dalvin.
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Just because he had a bum hamstring last year, and he's on pace to rush for over 1,000 yards and have like
Ton of
17 touchdowns,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is nutty.
He's been going crazy.
Yeah.
I'm really happy that he bounced back from that ACL injury and all these injuries as well, because I really liked him coming out of Florida State. I thought he was potentially one of the best in that draft class, and there were a lot of good ones in that draft class as well. So, all right, that's fair. Do we want to go rookies, offensive and defensive rookie
Yeah,
of the years?
we'll go rookies.
All right,
My
let's go offensive first.
All right, I had a very tough time. I had an issue here.
Tell us your two candidates.
Okay, well,
and
I'm
we'll hear you.
leaning towards my number one being Josh Jacobs,
Okay.
with Gardner Minshew as a backup, like second there.
I voted for Josh Jacobs.
I'm gonna vote for Josh Jacobs, but I'm saying I had a
Okay.
tough decision between Josh Jacobs and Gardner Minshew.
Minshew?
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that. I had
I feel
Josh
like Jacobs he's on a better team with the Raiders by the end of the year as well.
Yeah. Well, and again, we talk about Josh Jacobs is the reason that the Ravens are doing as well, or the
Raiders
are doing as well as they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
They balance out, the passing game because they used to not have a running game, but I think Josh Jacobs has really picked it up. I'm also biased because he's in my two of my fantasy leagues.
But
Wow, I
I
can't
did.
believe Josh Jacobs
So-
was an upgrade over Marshawn Lynch.
Well, I did say that I had a tough choice between the two.
Tough choice.
Yeah, tough choice between the two. I did have Josh Jacobs first.
Okay. All right, so we could agree on Josh Jacobs.
Minshew
yes.
Mania kind of fizzed out a little bit.
Yeah.
Still doing all right. I mean,
There-
for the situation, he basically got thrown in there. Said, "Here you go, run the team." And he did it pretty well.
Yeah. I still think Josh Jacobs. He has the stats. He has the wins.
Yeah, I'll go. Josh Jacobs is good.
All right. So
Offense or defense.
defensive rookie of the year.
I feel like it's not even close.
Yeah.
It's Nick Bosa.
I have Nick Bosa.
Yeah. As much as I'd love to hype up Devin Bush, like, you can't argue with the stats.
No,
Nick Bosa is playing out of his mind, and he's the reason that the Niners are as good as they are.
Nick Bosa is one of the best, not only rookies, but defensive player in this year so far, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think
he's
been
obviously
playing
the
great.
rookie of the year.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But at the same time, let's not, look over some of these other defensive players, because there are good ones, not just Devin Bush, but like Brian Burns, Josh Allen, they both have 7 sacks, which is pretty good midway for a rookie, for both of those. So this was a really good defensive class, I felt.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. So, all right. Well, I thought there was going to be more arguments there, but I guess there wasn't.
Should we go Coach of the Year next?
Yeah, let's go Coach of the Year. Who do we have?
Who do you have? Simon, you start us.
On me? I have Sean Payton. I feel like, he did a really good job leading that Saints team once Drew Brees went down. Mm-hmm. They overachieved a lot, I felt. And you know what? They only have 1 loss, don't they?
Yep, 7-1.
Yeah, that's really impressive to me.
I have Kyle Shanahan.
Ooh, that's a good one.
49ers great.
I mean, I think that's absolutely a good choice.
Yeah.
I have Sean Payton as well,
because
of the Teddy Bridgewater. Felt like he played lights out, and Sean Payton changed the whole offense.
Yeah.
When Bridgewater went in there, and they still won games against good teams too.
That's true.
Yeah. So we can say, basically, 2-person race. Well, it also depends upon what happens at the end of the season. But Kyle Shanahan and Sean Payton.
It's the 2 best teams in the NFL. So.
Oh yeah. If Shanahan continues, obviously, if they go 16-0, like Shanahan gets it.
Yeah.
But if that's honestly, in my opinion, the only way I would give it to Shanahan over Payton, though.
If they both go 15-1, I'd give it to Sean Payton.
Yeah. Because it's.
However, Kyle Shanahan did exceed expectations. I projected the Niners to go 3-13 this year. I did not believe them.
Yeah, I didn't have them that high either.
I think we all messed up there, but I feel like nobody was really seeing it coming anyway, so it's okay. All right, well, that wasn't super controversial. All right, let's go offensive and defensive player of the year. Let's start with offense. Who do y'all have?
Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey.
Okay, well, that wasn't controversial either. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey. He low-key could be MVP. But yeah, he's been playing out of his mind, carrying this Panthers team, to be honest.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's the only reason that they're even in the playoff picture. He's a monster. I wouldn't be...
Facts.
He could have over 2,000 scrimmage yards this year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Another fantasy star for me.
Basically a receiver, running back that plays everywhere on the field.
If the Panthers make the playoffs, I would be confident enough to say they could be an MVP candidate.
Me too, actually. But
we'll get
Kodey, remember what we talked about? I played him twice.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, now you could say that.
I'm on his highlight film.
For the wrong reasons.
High school highlight film. That's okay. A lot of other people are too. NFL players.
You're right.
Actually.
You're right.
But yeah, Christian McCaffrey. So defensive player of the year.
I think we could get a little bit of controversy here.
Yeah. Who do we have?
Let's stir it up.
You go first, Cody.
Go.
I have Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa?
Oh,
he needs to win both?
Defensive rookie and defensive player of the year.
Okay, I'm obviously that could happen, and I definitely think it could happen. I could see that happen. I could definitely see that happening, but for the fun of the podcast, I picked someone else just because I wanted to talk about that.
Okay, who?
So I have Jamie Collins Sr., safety.
Oh, wait. Safety?
Yeah.
Linebacker,
safety. He's basically a hybrid.
Okay.
For the Patriots, he has 6 sacks.
He's been playing out of his mind.
He has 3 interceptions. He's leading the team in tackles. So I mean, that's who I have.
Did he play against the Ravens? I didn't watch the game, so I don't know.
I also didn't watch the game.
He wasn't making any tackles on Gus Edwards or Mark Ingram.
Yes, but that's who I have. He has been playing very well.
Jamie Collins, I feel like, is a huge... He's the best defensive player on, statistically, the best defense in the league. But,
Well, statistically, those are pretty good stats as well.
Yeah.
It's hard to argue with that. I didn't do as much research in it because I didn't really want to.
Okay, who do you have?
Because I'm taking in, team success as well. I have Nick Bosa as well. It's hard to deny it. He's been a force.
Okay. How about not Nick Bosa? Who else you got?
Not Nick Bosa? Who do I got?
I have no idea.
I think another candidate could be Donnell Hunter.
If I had to choose...
That's tough.
If I had to choose someone else, I'd say Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald?
I know...
Donald? Not Darnold. Donald?
Yeah,
Donald?
I know it's a boring pick, but he's still just as dominant. He's beating triple teams. I've seen plays where the guard, the center, and the guard block him, and he still makes the play.
That's Aaron. He's gonna do that.
Yeah, I know. I know it's not a flashy pick, but he could still beat out Nick Bosa for the award.
Like, I did ask someone beside Nick Bosa, so thank you.
Okay.
He's a freak. I know it's boring because he's won it 2 years in a row.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But he's still the best defensive player in the league.
No,
just
yeah,
maybe
no
not
doubt.
this year.
No doubt. If I have to pick somebody, this is just off the top of my head, I'd probably go Marlon Humphrey, actually. I feel like he's made a lot of big-time plays when he's
That's a really good pick.
Yeah.
A lot of people haven't really been like looking at him because he may or may like he has good stats, but like they're not like amazing. But if you watch his game film, he makes plays when you need them to. Like he's a playmaker, whether it's a fumble on Juju or really clutch picks or just great coverage. Like he makes plays. So I would put Marlon Humphrey there.
Okay.
Agreed. I feel like Stephon Gilmore is also a good pick.
Let me throw one other name in there.
That's true.
Okay.
Statistically, I know team success is not as good. So obviously Nick Bosa. What about his brother Joey? Joey's having a monster year as well.
The Chargers have like 2 wins, too.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's what minus the team success. He's still having a monster year.
Yeah, I'll acknowledge he's having a monster year.
I wouldn't choose Joey Bosa over like even like
Jamie Collins,
Shaq.
Yeah, Shaquille Barrett has
just gotta shout out to the Bosa brothers, bro.
Yeah. Shout out to family dynasties in football.
Yeah.
I wish I have those genes. I wish I had Manning genes. I'd probably rather not have defensive line.
I would much rather have. I'd be awesome to have Bosa jeans.
But I want to get paid more. I feel okay. You know what? This is going to be a topic for another discussion in the future. That's which quarterback or not quarterback. Sorry, NFL genes would you want?
Okay.
Anyways, because that could be a good one.
I can tell you right now, Christian McCaffrey.
Wait, MVP?
No, I'm talking about
McCaffrey.
McCaffrey jeans.
Okay.
Obviously, the
No,
McCaffrey
MVP
jeans.
is Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
Whoa! Wait a second. Hold
Lamar
on.
Jackson.
Yeah, it is Lamar Jackson.
No, it's not.
Because Lamar beat Russell and then he beat Tom. So
It doesn't matter. Russell
Wilson's team is way worse than Lamar Jackson's team.
You're right.
And if you're are you going to compare Chris Carson to Mark Ingram? Are you going to compare the Seahawks defense to the Ravens? The Seahawks just let the Buccaneers put up 34 points. And you know who drove down the field for a game-winning touchdown in overtime?
it was Jameis. Or wait, hold up.
Russell Wilson.
Sorry, Russell Wilson. That's what I meant. I was thinking Bucks. But here, the Seahawks defense isn't bad though.
They're not the
Ravens.
not the Ravens defense.
I don't know. That front seven for the Seahawks defense, I'd rather take over the Ravens.
I personally think
For sure.
that the Seahawks team is the third best team in the NFL.
You know that Russell Wilson's
Because
only
of
from
Russell
one
Wilson.
pick.
Just
right?
because of Russell. He has 22
to 1.
touchdown and 1 interception.
He does, yeah.
And he can run, too.
Yeah.
So can Lamar.
No, I know Lamar. That's what I'm saying is that they could, there's nothing Lamar's doing that Russell Wilson can't.
Yes, he has the stats. That's good. But we're talking about winning games.
I have, if you go back and listen
How many losses do the Ravens have?
I have the Seahawks playing in the NFC Championship.
The only reason we're not talking about the Seahawks the way that we're talking about the Ravens is because the Seahawks play in the same division as the Niners.
You're right.
Yeah.
Also,
If the Seahawks,
I will say this. Russell Wilson isn't as flashy as Lamar Jackson. That's right. He goes about his business. Russell Wilson gets it done and wins games.
Russell Wilson's the highest paid quarterback in the league, and he's playing like the best quarterback in the league.
Good for him. He's having a great season. Honestly, probably a week ago, I would have said Russell Wilson. But I'm looking at wins right now.
They're going to have the same amount of wins at the end of the season.
Okay,
except for maybe a Super Bowl.
We're looking at quality wins as well.
Quality wins?
Yeah.
You got to give it to Russell Wilson. He's playing in the NFC. He's way better than Lamar Jackson.
What good team has Russell Wilson beat?
The Rams.
The Rams? Defense.
They're not even making the playoffs.
Who have the Ravens beat?
Team.
Okay, the Patriots.
The Seahawks and the Patriots.
Okay.
I'd say the Seahawks aren't as good of a team as the Ravens are.
I'm also going to say, I think if Seattle played Baltimore again, I think Seattle would win.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is that didn't happen. The Seahawks should have won in Seattle. They didn't. The Ravens beat them, and then the Ravens, obviously it was in Baltimore, but they beat the Patriots, who were, let's be honest, they played against bad teams, but they were, considered statistically the best defense.
I still don't think the Patriots. Again, we talk about this. I don't think.
Yeah,
I think the Patriots are pretenders.
But at the same time, they were 8-0 before this game.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's like, I'm just be honest, like, it's hard to argue against it. Like, nothing against Russell Wilson. He's a great player. He's been balling out. He's putting up those numbers. It's great. But at the same time, Lamar, you look at his receivers. Could you name a receiver on that team that's better than a DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett or even a Josh Gordon now?
I would say
Marquise
Brown
is Metcalf.
I would say Marquise Brown is equal to Tyler Lockett.
Plus,
really?
the Ravens have Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
I mean, like, nothing against Mark Andrews, but like,
it is very nice to have that safety blanket as a tight end.
And you're talking about receivers, which is important, but the Ravens can also consistently run the ball without worrying about their running back dropping the ball. Chris Carson is trash.
Yeah, but like, see, at the same time though, like, those Ravens receivers aren't as good as people think. Like Marquise Brown, and then that's it. You have maybe Mark Andrews, Nick Boyle, depending on who.
Mm-hmm. And I will say, well, Willie Snead isn't that great. He catches the ball if you throw it to him.
I mean, yeah, that's all. He's a second or third string NFL receiver, realistically, not a number one guy.
Exactly, but he's playing number 2 there.
Yeah, and plus Marquise Brown hasn't played a lot. Like, he's played, obviously a handful of games, but he's been injured more than people think. Didn't play against the Steelers.
So
Russell Wilson has thrown 1 pick all year.
I think it comes down to the fact that the reason I picked Russell Wilson over Lamar Jackson is Russell Wilson is doing it, yes, on a team that isn't as good. He doesn't have the supporting cast around him. It is basically him.
Yeah.
Winning games.
If you took away
receivers, I like his receivers a lot.
If you took away Russell Wilson out of the Seahawks, they're 2-7 maybe.
Yeah.
If you took Lamar Jackson away from the Ravens, they're probably 4-4.
I don't think they're 4-4. I don't think they're in the playoff race at all if you take out Lamar for the Ravens.
I don't think so.
What, RG3 could beat the Ravens?
I think RG3,
the Patriots and Seahawks?
I don't think he beats the Patriots. Those are the 2 losses.
Lamar Jackson obviously played good against the Patriots, but again, look at the running stat. Mark Ingram went off.
Yeah, he did.
And look at the defense. The Ravens scored one of those touchdowns. The Ravens defense scored one of those touchdowns.
They did.
So really, it's 30-20.
But still, at the same time, your quarterback got to play well because, if they're keying in on the run, then they're keying in on the run. Lamar made some good throws. He made some plays on his own as well. He's been making plays. Like I said, it's nothing against Russell Wilson, but...
You think Russell Wilson's line is better than Lamar Jackson's?
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I rest my case.
But at the same time, you gotta take the context. You gotta take that into effect right here as well. Because Russell Wilson, he's a Super Bowl winner. Mm-hmm. He's played like an MVP for a really long time. And Lamar, this is his second year. I think it's time to give him credit. That he's been playing well. And it's no disrespect to either of them. I just give Lamar the edge because he's beat 2 really good teams.
I think going down the stretch, I think Russell Wilson will beat the caliber of teams that Lamar Jackson did.
Okay. Well, if he does, he does. And
we'll
if Lamar does, he does. Because I could see Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was my second choice.
Mm-hmm.
But, I
Lamar Jackson's my second choice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just, I like the type of wins Lamar has had. I think both teams would be worse off with both of these quarterbacks. I don't think either of them make the playoffs. I definitely don't think the Ravens would. I think the Steelers would be the front runners if, like, say, a Joe Flacco was there instead of Lamar.
We don't even talk about Joe Flacco. He's bad.
Yeah, well, his neck's broke, so there's that.
We don't want to talk about it.
All right. Anyways, that is it for this podcast. It was all football, but next week I'm not going to make any guarantees, but we're going to talk about more. We're going to have more rants of the week, and whatnot coming up soon. So stay tuned.